Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Zilliqa. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. And why not leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Always happy to hear from you, so drop it down there, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. In the description below you'll also find a link to Discord. Why not check it out, it's free to join. Once in the general chat area, just add mention a member of staff and we'll be happy to help you out. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we're looking at this. We were effectively, last time we visited this, we're looking for the C wave to come down, but it hasn't. So that either leads us to be looking at this potentially as an ABC like this, and then we actually could be starting to move away from here again, in which case we would be looking potentially to see some structure play out to the upside, or alternatively, there's something else going on here. So basically what we were looking for was this. It is still possible we could still see a 5-wave move play out where we actually get this B wave from this position. And then actually we look to still come back down and look to target out this fourth. Ideally, we still want to move down here to this 2169 to this 1774 area. But if we do get a zigzag like this, we'd have to be careful that we don't just have a shallow B wave where this is where this is a flat and actually look to push up one more time. So this is what we're currently looking at. There are some other bullish options where we could be starting to see some extension within these waves. So make sure you stay tuned so we go over all the different options. So effectively, like I said, there's a potential we could start to break down from this point, and we look at this as a completed move here. However, it is also possible that we can argue that this fifth wave is moved like this, and actually what we have here is a diagonal where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, or alternatively, we can argue that basically we move this further down. Once again, looking same story over diagonal, but potentially as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. If this is playing out, we'd have a longer wave 1 here, then we'd have these short wave 3 and 5. So if we do move back to the upside here in a 3-wave structure, and potentially we could look to actually challenge this this line here. Sorry, this line over here. If I get this on this high point, we could look to potentially look to challenge this line here, which currently sits at about 32, 31. In which case, like I said, we'd want to see 3-wave structure here play out. If that is the case, then we can look at this diagonal potentially completed there. Alternatively, it could have actually completed back here. Like I said, if we look at this structure slightly different as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, effectively we could be looking to start to break down from this point, and then this could actually mark our fifth wave location. So we'll have to see how these waves develop. Like I said, there is also some bullish potential. So I'm just going to move this back here for a second. And effectively, we were talking about the potential of this being more complex, uh, which would be this, where we're looking at this as an A, this potentially as a B wave, and then actually looking for the potential to come down in a C wave. So we can argue that we're getting some 5-wave structure here, but we need to see how this plays out. So this would be looking at this as a wave 1, 2 as a flat, 1, 2, 3, 4 through 5, 3 as a normal 5-wave move, and then basically looking for a zigzag. So if we're looking for this as a zigzag, we want to see one more push to the upside, though it's already come sort of as high as I'd want it to come with this fourth wave. So we have to just be careful that if we do get a move like this and we actually look to break down deeper, that it doesn't actually become a 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're going to go over that option as well. But effectively, the 1-to-1 would actually take us up here to this 2965. Though if we have a look here, potentially some of these lower levels here would keep us within the range. Invalidation only really comes by moving past this 0.3 cent. So that is basically what we have to just keep an eye on here. If we do see this as a 1, was an A, a B, and then look to push to the upside one more time, like I said, this 2965 would be a 1-to-1 off of this low point here. So that could be an interesting zone. 702 would take us just into the zone. 786 of this A wave would actually just push us up into this 2932. So it'll be interesting to see if we do get this move. If we do actually move up past this 3062, then we would actually be looking for impulsive structure up here where this becomes a 1, 2, 3. We'd look for that fourth, and then a fifth to the upside. So we're going to go over some of these options in the bullish side. So if we do continue either we look at this completed here and we look to potentially complete down deeper again, or alternatively, we're getting some extension. So like I said, if we do move up here and we stay below this high point of this 3083, we could potentially get some extension. So if we do just reject here and move down, this would be my target zone. I'd be looking for this 2738 to this 2685. That would be a typical fifth wave based off of this based off of the fourth wave. So this is a zone we would actually look to target out. From there, what we'd have to see is whether we actually retrace back to the upside here and then find resistance again in this zone here of this 3096 to this 2951, potentially looking to retest the top of this or the bottom of this channel that we've been sitting in. If we do lose this, potentially we could come back up for a retest and then look to reject deeper. So that's something we just need to be aware of. Like I said, we're looking for the potential of a five-wave move. So if we had to argue, we came back up and tested the 0.618, which is that middle line there. Effectively, what we would be looking at is a target. If I come down here up into this zone, this 02306 would be our target for a typical third wave. So that would be looking at this potentially as a 1, 2, 3, looking for a fourth and then a fifth. So we can see that, like I said, that would bring us right down into this zone we're looking at here. So if we do get a push down there, that could be an area we actually look to target out. Okay, so the other way we can look at this impulse is that there could be some extension. So let's have a look at this. Effectively, this is looking at the move slightly different as a 1, 2, 1, potentially a 2. So if we do push deeper up here and we come past this 50% and we sort of even if we move past this wave 1 high, there is still potential we could get an impulsive structure down here where this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. At the moment, all we have is a three-wave structure, so this could just be a correction and we move away, but this is just looking for the potential to break down. So what we'd be looking at, like I said, is this is a potential 1, 2. So the 1 to 1 is that 02967, and that would be looking at this as an A, a B, and a C to the upside. If that is the completion of a corrective move, we would then be looking for a deeper move towards this 2492 for confirmation of this third wave. If we do actually move up into this zone and then break down into this area, we'd be looking for an additional fourth and a fifth, and then potentially another fourth and a fifth to tie up the first part of this move. So that would take us potentially down here to this 2380 to this 23 cent 2 cent 3 area. Also this area, this 2455 to this 2397. So this would be a zone we could actually look to push down into. And like I said, that would potentially bring us into this previous fourth wave here. And if we do get further extension within this, this might actually look to push us deeper down into this zone here. And if that is the case, then what we could potentially just have is a bigger A, a B, and a C. And then we could be looking to progress to the upside from this point. So we're going to need to keep an eye on this zone, this previous fourth wave in this green box area. If we do come down deeper here, that could mark a B wave low or a wave 2 low, and then we could actually be looking to progress much higher to the upside. So let's change this out. The thing is, one thing I just want to say, if we do lose this 1527, it invalidates any sort of impulsive structure. So if we start to break down too deep, and if we do cross this 1527, effectively any kind of an impulse from here would be invalid, and it would be rather that we've got the more bearish option playing out, where we're actually going to be looking for fifth wave down. Okay, so there's a couple of ways of looking at this bullish. So this is one of them, and I don't really like it because of the fact that this wave 2 wasn't very deep. But for as long as we hold this low point of this 2227, effectively we can argue that we could have potential here to extend to the upside. So I'm looking at this potentially as this green wave one here, and looking for confirmation would come up here at this 5814. So there's not really much indicating that it could be doing that. So the one thing that I am looking out for is if we do get this play out as a diagonal here, where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This little zone here, this 02676 to this 02409, could be a zone that we actually look to find support in and then look to push away. So this is just something we're gonna have to keep an eye on as this move comes down. If it starts to break down and it takes out this low point here of this 2403, that would first allow us to not look at this having an extension from here. We're gonna go over that in a second, but this basically looking at this as a diagonal. If we cross this 02227, effectively this invalidates any kind of a extension from this current structure to the upside. We'd be looking for that lower range then that'll basically, and like I said, this would just become a bigger correction, then we look to move up potentially. Okay, so within the structure, like I said, we could be looking at this sort of a move, but once again, confirmation would first come by crossing above this 461, which would confirm this orange 5-wave count. But then only once we cross above this 5814 would it confirm the green one. So even if we're looking at that, we could just have to be careful this doesn't become an ABC and then we actually break down again. So we need the correct structure. It's very difficult to count this as an impulse up in this zone, but there is potentially a way of doing it. And like I was saying, we'd be looking at this potentially as a 1, 2, and then so the only way you can count this as an impulse is you'd have to be counting this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into here. Then you would have to have this as a flat, a B wave, and then a C wave. So basically a W, X, and Y to the downside. Effectively, then we would have to argue that we have a diagonal here. That's the only way we can count this currently that would support the bullish narrative here. Is we would be arguing that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then looking for this. The only problem with this is this actually plays out as a this actually would have to be a expanding diagonal at that point because there isn't a way of counting it as a contracting one within this structure. And because if we look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, then this fifth wave would actually have to be longer than the third. So as long as we don't cross below this 2616 area, this is still valid and possible. What we could see here is actually that this plays out as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a diagonal expanding here. And then what we would want to see from that point is actually a retracement and finding support above the zone of, let's just throw this on. We'd have to go above this yellow line. So if we're arguing we just cross it, 50% would be this 2965. Lower down would be this 618, this 2869 area. Lowest area would want to really travel as a 2 would be this 2734. So the thing is with this, we can't count this as a third wave here, so this would have to be a wave 1 if it is going to be part of the impulse. And what we'd have to do is, like I said, we'd have to look at this as a diagonal. If not, this is not my favorite counter. This is I don't know. It feels a little bit like forcing it. But for as long as we actually hold these low points, this sort of thing can actually play out, where actually this third wave actually just becomes a lot higher here, and this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then that becomes this third wave, and then we get some further extensions. So it is possible that we could see something like this for as long as we're setting these higher lows here, and if the structure starts to move away. Like I said, I would want to see this complete in a 3-wave move here. If this is going to be a diagonal, we want to see this complete as a 3-wave move and then look to break down, find that support, and then look to push up again. So that would be what we would be looking for with this within this move. If we do effectively form this as a diagonal, then we can start looking for that third wave target. But at the moment, I am still favoring that this is just a bigger corrective structure, or the diagonal completes here, and we're actually going to break down to this fourth wave zone. If we move down, like I said, past this 2403, basically what that does is that clears up all this potential of extension on the other side of it, and wouldn't be able to look at it like that anymore, and we'd have to just say that this was a completed move into this point or into this point, and then this is an ABC. Okay, so it does need a bit more time. There is a potential here to start to get sort of a bullish move going here, though effectively we'd have to hold these zones 2616, 2597, sorry, 79, and this 2403 ultimately. If we carry on holding these areas, we could actually potentially be setting up for a bigger structure here. So we just need to give it a bit of time and see how that plays out. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us feedback down below in the comment section. Always happy to hear from you. And also in the description below, you'll find links to the Discord. Like I said, why not come join? It's free to join in the general chat area. Just add mention member staff if you need a hand with anything. Also in the description below, you'll find affiliate links to both BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. They do have deposit bonuses if you do use them, and using the affiliate link does help support the channel. If you want more information, have a look in the links below and it'll take you through to it. Okay, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.